In a world of fill the seat recruiters, how can we build true, authentic partnerships over transactional relationships? Welcome back to another episode. This is the topic that is on my mind, and I'm having conversations with so many business leaders in the last few years that I wanted to bring to you a perspective and a shift in perspective that I had when building this business. So, for those that don't know, I'm a people strategist, and I also own and run a boutique recruitment firm called Serve Recruitment Agency. And my background is internal HR. I worked in the space of talent and business partnership for my entire career at a Fortune 50 organization, in a mid-sized company, and then eventually in a consulting kind of arm and a fractional arm as well. So I've seen how the big guys run it. I've seen the middle of the kind of mid business, how they run talent. And then I've also gone in as a consultant to a lot of startups and watched how they built talent and their relationships with recruiters in the market. 9 times out of 10, when I'm talking to a business leader or an owner, I hear this. Oh, this one time I worked with a recruiter, ... and insert any horror story you can think of. Usually there's this universal fear or this universal feel that recruiters are out to make a buck. And there's a bit of a slimy car salesy feel to recruiters who essentially are kind of a middleman or a service provider to match great talent with great companies. I laugh a lot because I often think about myself as a matchmaker. Literally, I'm matching great people with great companies. And yet there's a lot of resistance when it comes to thinking about bringing a recruiter into your team to really support, because as a functionality, in my experience in 15 years in human resources, there's really been this undertone in recruitment around how quickly can I fill the seat and get out? How quickly can I make my money and get out? And so no wonder there's this undertone of bit car salesy, bit slimy, transactional energy when we think about recruiters in the market. And a lot of the times when I'm talking to prospects or clients of mine, the first thing I say is, I get it. I've lived on the internal side. When I worked for all of those different organizations, I was responsible to select and hire the recruiters that we worked with. And so I have seen everything and all the BS that is out there in terms of how people present themselves, how people come forward. And you can really, there's an undertone of a feel that shows up when you can tell somebody's just looking to get your business to get in and get out and make a quick buck, versus those that really want to think about this in partnerships. I'll be honest, in a lot of ways, this is why I had so much resistance when I left consulting to become an entrepreneur and grow a recruitment agency, because I've been on the inside. And I know the perceptions that can be in the market. And I had to start to ask myself this question: what would need to be true for this to work for me? How do I need to work through this internal feeling that if I go create a recruitment business, it's going to be just like all the rest? And I'm going to slide down that slippery slope of just looking to fill roles and move on. And so I started to really dive into myself and started to ask the questions around, what does this need to look like for it to feel authentic and true for me to step in and really be of service? I laugh a lot. It is my last name. I think in a lot of ways, it's why I'm meant to be here in the world, is to serve. And one of the ways that I can serve in the world is through my innate skill set, which is matching incredible humans with incredible businesses and unlocking leaders of growth companies to max out their potential. And I don't think we're meant to do that alone. I think we need to have really great people in order to continue to grow and unlock our true potential. And so when I started to think about what would this business need to look like for it to fulfill and align with not just who I am today, but also who I'm becoming, and deeply connect to the values, my core values, and what feels like truth for me, these were the things that came up. One, it needed to be based on true partnership, not transactions, which meant, how can I show clients that I am going to deeply invest in understanding their business so that there's a partnership relationship, not a, hey, send the job description, I'll get it posted now type of relationship. Two, I wanted my firm to put our money where our mouth is. As a small business owner, and I work with a lot of growth and small business owners, cash flow is important. Cash flow is important in any business. But in this particular situation, what I see a lot of the times in the recruitment fee structures is mass lump sums, of large amounts when we're hiring talent, and we're not thinking about the client and their cash flow and how they need to be set up for success as well. And so what we do is we actually finance talent. So there's a small deposit, and then over 6 months, we finance talent. One, I think by 6 months, we know if somebody's going to be successful or not, if we are doing the right things from a development and retention side of things. And two, it splits up a payment fee so that you essentially, like a car payment, are financing the talent. And that has been a game changer to show clients that we're just not here for a transaction. Let's actually work together and figure out how we can create a structure, even financially, that is a win-win for everybody. And for me, I really want to help growth businesses unlock their true potential and show them the best practices that I have learned in talent. So how can I be the subject matter expert in that space and bring that to the table? And then number 4, I go back to it all the time, but how am I serving? What is the value I'm adding here? If I don't believe that I can go into an organization and add value, or that the result of the value I'm adding will 10x the result of what that company is going to achieve, I will be the first to opt out. So when thinking holistically about when I was building my recruitment practice, how I wanted to do it differently, these were some of the foundations that I've built the business on. And my ask, as I've had so many conversations with leaders in the spaces that are growing and needing teams, and maybe have had really crummy experiences with recruiters in the past, my ask is for them to tune in. When you're looking to bring in external talent and you're considering a recruiter for their expertise and frankly to save your internal team time, remember, if they go straight for, hey, send me the job description, that is a telltale sign that they are in this for transaction and not partner. The first question should be about you. The first question should be about your missions, your values, and to get a deeper understanding of the current state of your business. Because I know once I have an understanding of your current state of the business, it will then lead very naturally for me to understand, well, where do you want to take this business? And then I can bring my expertise to help you think about succession planning, people mapping, building and unlocking with the right box before people. So org design is really important when we're thinking about hiring. And then from there, we can co-create job description together on the heels of strategic work. So for me, my philosophy is this: if I'm going to come into a business and be an extension of your brand in the market, then I have to deeply know who you are. I have to deeply understand your business. And I need to know what some of your future aspirations are. So, to all my business leaders who have been out there struggling with transactional recruiters, I hear you, I see you. And as a collective of recruiters, how can we continue to elevate our game? How can we continue to think about it from different frameworks and different perspectives to not just quote unquote fill a seat, but become a collective that is known for partnership? If you're listening and you're struggling with talent and any of this resonates with you, please feel free to reach out at Jackie Service on all platforms or Jackie@JackieService.com. We'll link all those up, but I appreciate you tuning in to hear a perspective that I am so passionate about, which is recruiters, let's think partnership, not transactions. Much love, and we'll see you again next time on the Jackie Service Show.